Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and another video. If you are new here, my name is Nicole and I make bookish related content once a week on the internet. And sometimes in my video, we do have a special guest appearance by my dog, Ollie. And by special guest appearance, I don't mean that you will see him on camera. I more mean that you will hear him growling and playing in the background and I can't edit it out. Today's video, I don't think excited is the right word. Like I'm excited, but I'm also confused. So today's video is the February TBR and I'm confused as to how we are already up to February. But this month I have only picked 5 books and I've done that on purpose purely because that we are like on the 20 odd day countdown until we go and see Taylor Swift. So we're going to Taylor Swift on the Friday. I was also fortunate enough for another friend because I got the tickets for Friday night and then another friend got us tickets on the Monday night for us and our partners to go. So there's basically gonna be 5 days where I'm just probably potentially not going to be reading. So as such, I have taken the liberty of only picking 5 books this month for me to read. 3 of the books are all on my 24 books I want to read in 2024 and 2 of them also feature on the book series I want to read in 2024. I'm really smashing out the books on that list and the reason for that is that I still, obviously when I filmed the 24 books I want to read in 2024 in the book series, I looked at the blurbs and worked out, what was actually going on in these books. So I actually have the premise of all of these books in my brain. They sound really good and my brain just wants to pick them up and read them, which is fantastic because some of these have been sitting on my bookshelves for years and so I'm finally getting through them. So I do apologize in the sense that a lot of the books in my TBR videos are a little bit repetitive because you've seen them all like literally within the last month or so. So I do apologize in that aspect, but I'm getting through the books on that list, so that's exciting. But I feel like I've made this introduction way too long, so let's just get straight into the 5 books that I want to read in February of this year. So the first book that I have picked is Legend by Mary Lou. I like to point this out to shame myself. Still have the price tag. I'm pretty sure that I purchased this in 2020. So Legend does focus on 2 characters. We've got Day and June. I mean, they're both on the run and happen to meet by accident. So Day is a boy who walks in the light and June is the girl who seeks her brother's killer. So they're for some reason just drawn together. They don't know each other's pasts. Day murdered June's brother. So basically, we're in some sort of like dystopian society as well. We've got like the Republic of America, which obviously it's called the United States of America. So I'm presuming some sort of war or something has happened. We've changed the world, or at least America. I'm sure I'll find out when I read it. But we've got dual perspective in this one. I'm presuming we'll jump back and forth between Day and June. And I'm going to take it that obviously Day's not going to tell June that, he killed somebody. I want to know why he killed her brother. But it sounds interesting. It's the first and all 3 books are on my list. So I guess the plan is if I like this one and I get through my other books that I want to read this month, I can pick up the sequel because it's 295 pages. So that's not a very long book. So realistically, I should be able to read it quickly. And then also if I want to pick up the second book, which I think is Prodigy, I can. So yeah, that's the first book that I want to read. And then the second book that I am going to pick up in February is the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is called The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. So the first book was The Lost Hero, which I did read in January. But if you want to know my thoughts on that one, stay tuned for my January wrap up, which should be coming next week. This one just follows on from where The Lost Hero ended, but we focus on 3 brand new demigods. So we've got Jason, I think it's Lewis. What is her name? Yeah, okay, I can't remember her name, which is really frustrating. But Jason actually has no memory whatsoever and he just randomly appears on a school trip with Lewis and the other girl that he's apparently in a relationship with. They end up getting taken to Camp Half-Blood where they discover they are demigods. They find out who their godly parents are. I really liked it in the Heroes of Olympus that we're not just focusing on like the main 6 big Greek gods. They've now just brought in the smaller gods as well and we're expanding Camp Half-Blood. Also, Percy is missing, hence the lost hero. Find out that, I don't want to spoil it, but like Camp Half-Blood is not the only camp for demigod children because obviously the Greek gods have a Roman counterpart, and that's what I'm gonna say. It looks like this book actually focuses on just Percy and not Jason, but we do find out that there's a new prophecy and there are 7 demigods, and I am pretty confident that 3 of the demigods are Jason, Lewis, and her name that I can't remember, and obviously Percy. I reckon Annabeth's gonna be one as well, so there's 5. Don't know who I think the other 2 are potentially gonna come from here as well. So this one is the Son of Neptune, which is obviously Percy, but yeah, it's gonna focus on Percy and what's actually where he went and why he's lost and, you know, his journey. So these books are so thick. Like, that's the one thing I'm not. Oh, Piper. Her name's Piper. So this book is 511 pages. These books are really, really thick. I'm only reading one a month, but I'm excited to get through this one because I think the third, fourth, and fifth one are going to be really good because that's when Percy and Jason and the camps will come together and things will be great. But that is the second book that I want to read. And then the third book that I want to pick up in February is You Have a Match by Emma Lord. This is the third and final book that is on my 24 books I want to read in 2024. Those previous two books are also on it, but this is the third one that I've picked for this month. So we focus on our main character, Abby. She signs up to a DNA service where she discovers that she has an older sister. From memory, they are sisters. Like, both her mum and dad are the other sister's parents, and for whatever reason they put her up for adoption and didn't keep her. Abby doesn't know about her. I'm pretty sure the sister, what's her name? Savannah. I don't think Savannah knows about Abby either. And they decide to meet up at summer camp to, I guess, get to know one another, try and work out why Savannah and Abby's mum and dad gave Savannah up. It just sounds like it's probably going to be a little bit of a coming of age story. I'm intrigued by the storyline of, you know, giving her up for adoption, especially when mum and dad stayed together. I'm wondering if it was a case of mum and dad where it was like a teen pregnancy and grandparents may have played a part in the kid in Savannah being put up for adoption. But I don't know. I think the camp setting is going to be interesting. Abby also goes there with her best friend Leo, who she also has a crush on. So are they going to get together? But I think it's going to be a really like interesting coming of age story, and I'm intrigued to find out more about it. And then the fourth book I have picked is How to Love Your Neighbor, and it is by Sophie Sullivan. It was at the top of my TBR cart, and to be honest, I just pulled it out because I thought I'm just trying to get through my TBR. So we focus on Grace. She's going to finish her degree, get her dream job, and also find a place where she can truly belong, which is something she didn't have as a child growing up. So it looks like she's gotten the opportunity to fix up and live in a little house on the beach. So she takes up the offer, so she thinks that this is the perfect opportunity for her to put her dreams in place. However, Noah moves in next door, and he's a real estate developer, and he thinks he's found somewhere special and a place that he could call home. However, his plan to make his house homely is to actually buy the house next door that Grace lives in and buy it. So I guess when he says something special, he probably wants to turn the whole place into a development and probably wants to buy Grace's house, and she's like, no. And he's probably going to be a little bit of a nightmare. So probably going to have some fun with their neighbors, but this just sounds like a cute, fun rom-com, which is what I feel like I'm going to need because the Rick Riordan novel, 500 pages, like it's going to be a lot for me to get through that. So I feel like I need to balance it out with some contemporary reads, and that sounds like the perfect one to read. And then the fifth and final book I have picked for myself is Sadie on a Plate by Amanda Elliott. Didn't read the blurb before I picked this one. I just went, this is a book about food. I like food. I'm gonna pick it up because I read You Had Me at Halloumi and I quite enjoyed the food aspect of it. I will get more into my thoughts on that in my January wrap up, but it's kind of inspired me to maybe pick up some more of my books on my shelf that are food related. So we focus on Sadie, who is a rising star in the trendy Seattle restaurant scene. Her dream is to create unique, modern, and mouth-watering takes on traditional Jewish recipes. But she has a very public breakup with her boss, who is also a famous chef. Sadie's pretty convinced that her career is going to be over, but that is until she lands a spot on the next season of her favorite TV show, Chef Supreme. What's it with cooking shows? So on the plane to New York, she has a sizzling chemistry with her seatmate Luke, but tells him that she won't be able to contact him for the next 6 weeks. They prolong their time together with a spontaneous magical dinner before parting ways, until she finds out the next day that Luke's probably there. So she says, or so she thinks, when she turns up to set the next day, she makes a shocking discovery about who Luke is. Is Luke going to be one of the contestants? Is he the host? No, I feel like if he was the host, she would know that. So I'm leaning more towards maybe that he is another competitor. Maybe he's going to be a guest judge. Maybe he works on the show. Either way, she's not going to get to ignore him for 6 weeks. I think that's adorable and I'm here for it. We're going to have a cute little romance. I kind of don't want him to be a competitor, but that's just my 2 cents. Okay guys, so they are the 5 books that I want to read in February of 2024, and we'll just see what else I get to pick up in the month of February. Like I said, I've not picked a lot of months because I have a fair bit going on. Excited to read these 5 and get through them. I would obviously like to read 7 or 8 books this month, but I I've just picked 5 that I definitely want to read, and we'll just see how we go for the rest of the month on whether or not I can pick up some extra books or not. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure that you hit the like button, and if you haven't done so already, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my January wrap up video next Monday. Bye.